There's this J. Cole lyric that goes something along the lines of, if God was understanding, he'd understand what someone goes through when it takes somebody's life that's same skin color as them, or for a man to beat on his wife. And I wrote in a poem, I put both what he said and what I said on screen. I think I said something like, did he mourn for Cain? It's a very mature way of what J. Cole said. It's a very mature way of looking at God and what he is, and based on what we've been told, because it's said that God is understanding, he's complacent, but also fighting is bad. But in my personal opinion, along with J. Cole, I feel like he'd understand what would cause a man to go do something as heinous as that. I understand that he would go to do something like that, right? But then I thought it back a little bit to it. That's in a part of my poetry project. I thought back to it. With the Cain and Abel situation, does he mourn for Cain? Going back to what J. Cole said, if he'd understand what would cause somebody to go and take somebody's life. So, with God being understanding, would he understand, not saying that it's right, but would he understand what would go through his mind or his heart for him to even think that's the appropriate solution to go and take his brother's life? Or in a situation where the guy that had the rainbow robe and his brothers killed him, would God understand their thinking into doing something like that? And would he mourn for them, even though punishing them? Because it doesn't matter what they did is wrong, but would he mourn, and would he understand what would cause somebody to even create or even do or commit a heinous crime like that? I think he would. And we all have our own personal opinions of it. I personally think God is imperfect. And I'll go back to what I was saying. I personally don't think God is perfect. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in a way for me to understand God and analyze his actions, because God said that he would never send the flood, and the flood was because of our actions, right? So my thinking, me just critically thinking, if he sent a flood because of our actions and the free will that we've misused, and he's given us the free will, then do we actually have free will? No, it is a constructed form of free will. And because of that, let's think. That's not free will, which would then be an imperfect action or line of reasoning. But it's okay that this is this way, because it makes, because people ask the famous question of what happened during slavery. God's not going to save everybody. He can try his hardest, but he can't. He tries his hardest. I say that. He tries his hardest. Some people get it, some people don't. I'm not saying don't believe in him. What I'm saying is, before you go read the Bible and believe everything that's in there, do your own line of thinking. Because if you just believe everything that they tell you to believe, you're no different from somebody in a cult. And I'm not saying that to be any form of nothing. God forgive me for even saying this. I'm not saying this wrong. If you do not have your own line of thinking, you do not believe for yourself, and you just go along with others tell you to do, you're not studying a religion. Religion is based in the free will and the acceptance of what I'm believing in may not be real, but I believe in it. It's a personal thing. You have to personally question what you believe. If you're not questioning what you believe in, you'll fall for anything. Anybody can tempt you with what you do not know. And with what you don't know, you have to admit that you don't know and then grow to understand. My opinion may very well be wrong with God being imperfect. I very well may be wrong with that. But that's what I'm going with so far. And ever since then, I've never asked him for anything. Honestly, God, I have not asked God for anything. I've just been saying thank you. Thank you for waking up. Thank you for me doing the things I do. Thank you for blessing me with the things I'm able to do. Thank you for blessing me with the money I have. Thank you for blessing me with the friends I have. Thank you for everything. Thank you for protection. Thank you for everything. I have not asked him for anything. I say thank you for the food you've blessed me with when I buy it. Thank you for the drink. Thank you for things. I'm more thankful. I'm not asking him for anything because I know he has people to attend to. I know he does. I could be one of them, but it's not my time right now. I give everybody else their time. I sit back and I just thank for what he gives me, and we just keep going from there. That's my personal opinion on it.